All right. Good morning, or maybe, hello everyone. This is me, Guillaume, and Rosalie. We're doing Stop Losing, Start Trading. So, the trading show where we go over some trades, discuss ideas, and have other people, again, have the intern implement those trades if they want it or not, or maybe just kind of not listen to us. But at the end of the day, this is a trading show. We want to have people understand how options trading work using Panoptic or using any other interface. And yeah, not financial advice, but overall just a cool way to learn about options. So yeah, first of all, Rosie, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm doing good. Yeah, market's kind of looking rough. I think we kind of are back to getting away from all these wonderful all-time highs, and now things are just kind of, I think, going to daddle between specific price ranges and maybe, yeah, we'll see what happens, but everything's kind of down now.
Yeah, I mean this is life. Markets go up, markets go down. It is kind of always moving. We'll make it short today. Again, I have another appointment, but one thing I want to bring maybe is that even though it seems like crypto prices have been going down continuously, I want to bring this is the S&P 500 chart, which is kind of the boomer stocks, everything in the stock market. And again, starting in mid to early February, I guess, before Denver as well, the price has been going down too there. So it's not as if it's only crypto that's going down. There is some macro, larger scale events. Orange colored, maybe it's Bitcoin, maybe it's the president, but at the end of the day, the markets are in turmoil. So even though we think that the crypto markets don't look great, it's still fine because at the end of the day, the whole market is going down. So without saying it's not bad, but it's part of the broader trend. So as long as you're being consistent, maybe you use this opportunity to accumulate ETH or Bitcoin as it gets cheaper and cheaper to kind of, when it reverts, then it's going to be a good way. I mean, yeah, are you invested in the regular stock market, Rosalie, at all?
No, I have not yet. I guess, yeah, with the Big Short and other movies that I've watched, I was a little scared. So just crypto's way less scary in my opinion.
Less scary. There we go. I mean, there's the boomer which is buying this S&P 500 SPY or Blue or whatnot, and then let it sit in your retirement account. But even then, it went down almost like 10% over the past month, which is a big move. Again, I'm trading options on TradFi stocks, I guess, and it was, yes, certainly something that was a bit uh, yes, a bit difficult to manage, to say the least. Yeah, I'm saying, I don't know if people are on Twitter. Twitter is down at the moment. I don't know if you can load it, but at the end of the day, we'll keep going. This is going to be on YouTube Live. And yeah, let's without further ado, let's go quickly over the trades, the recent prices. It's been going red all over, and this is kind of how it is. But then, yes, okay. My son like that. Yeah, it's going red. We did hit below 2,000.
Gotta
No,
teach
yes.
him early.
I know. Want to trade, son? Don't disappoint me. I'm kidding. It did go down below 2,000. I gotta notice. This was scary. Even still this morning. It is what it is. On the ETH price, 2,000 may seem like a nice place to stop, in my opinion. But Bitcoin as well has been kind of going below 80K. This is the test, so everybody jumps out. So price move. We keep trading. Let's go over the Panoptic intern portfolio. This is the whole portfolio value as well. It goes down because the value of everything went down. So even though we started about 10K worth, it going down again because of the markets. We have collateral in ETH and BTC and ticker Bitcoin as well. There's nothing we can do. One thing that I wanted to maybe show is the ratio trade we've done last week, which was kind of a repeat of what we had. Let's go quickly over it. It's a new trade, 3 days old. Nothing really to see, but the directionality may not seem like it's doing much. But then, yeah, we thought it was bearish. It moved out a little bit. Nothing to worry about. And typically, I wouldn't spread too much. One thing that we did was to purchase an option out of range to move liquidity closer to the range. And unfortunately, that price now, this option is in range a little bit. So this is us trying to optimize capital efficiency and buying an option for free. In this case, it is in range a little bit. and I'm sure we'll see this in the premium. Oh, it went up and down. So even though we were mostly setting an option aiming to earn fees, we are going back and forth where we're net even. We're paying on one side, getting paid on the other side. It nets out to pretty much zero. One thing to be careful is that this option now is very, very high VGOID because we high multiplier. So it may revert very, very quickly. So that might be one where even though we were wrong, if we keep being wrong, we may revisit before we reach the kind of max loss, but rather earlier because of that extra component. Someone could sell this option that would benefits the seller, us as well. But for now, since we're in range for both, one of them has a big multiplier, we are paying a little bit, but that's fine. If we're still holding our assumption is gonna go up, then we can just hold it. Oh, and sorry about the music, you guys. All right, so that's one option. It's brand new, nothing more to it. Ticker Bitcoin, you'll see it's actually printing. Or at least it's not losing. There is some movement. Ticker Bitcoin has lost a little bit. It's still in range, so we're happy about that. That might be just the recent price move. Yeah, remember, this is a rather large move, 20% down, and we're just down a fraction of a percent. So still up with the premium. So that's another one. I know you're a big Ticker Bitcoin fan. So you think it's going to revert, or should we take our wins here and kind of leave with our, I don't know, $25?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can probably we could manage this position maybe on Wednesday, kind of see what happens the next couple days. I think everything's just kind of down right now, but we still have some leeway on the downside anyway. So I think it's okay, but I don't know. Nothing's looking good right now. I'm not very
Exactly.
optimistic.
So I mean, ETH has been holding up okay, but then the alts maybe hit more strongly. But yes, that's the key point. We are neutral in nature. Price moves, it's still in range, so technically we're still right. And if it does go down, still we're gonna be in the profit zone. So that's actually not the end of the world. We just have to wait. This one has been held for 18 days. So again, we expect that range to hold for a month ish. And now it's still have to do, but yeah, I would agree with you. Wednesday would be when we look at it a bit more closely. Finally, let's wrap it up with the USDC trade, USDC ETHUSDC market. The intern created one position very recently. I'm gonna have a look at this one. There's another one that was created also 4 days ago. So these are brand new. There's a little bit less interesting things going on there. And one thing that I want, again, you, Rosalie, as well, and the audience meant to see is that there is an extra one that is still open and quite a big loss. And I was a bit surprised too when I looked at this. So we recommended to close that position, redeploy. And then what happened is that intern kept that position open and opened a new one. So the buying power is still reasonable, 20%. So nothing prevents us from opening new positions and keeping old ones in. The key point is that this one is out of range. And again, it took me a while, but I figured out exactly what happened. But this position did not quite work for us. It's out of range. It's not earning fees. It's in this kind of straight line, which is kind of 100% delta. So technically, there's no reason to keep it on unless you really think it's going to go back up. But again, we'd better redeploy. So one thing that is very important when you want to close an option is, as a seller, you sell liquidity, someone can buy that liquidity. And that might be what's happening here. You see that one call here in big red, there's 3.02x VGuard. So in that specific leg, the call one, and if you look here, this is how much has been sold in total, about 2.1 ETH, but then a lot of it has been purchased and there's barely anything left. So what intern is probably seeing now is that they have some open positions. It's 387 ETH in size, but then people bought quite a chunk of it, and some people, farmers maybe, they're buying small amounts, but they are adding up. So that buying activity means that you cannot close that position unless you force exercise someone. And that's something we haven't covered yet and hasn't come up yet, but this is a good maybe teaching point, is that you set an option, someone buys it from you, and technically they can lock you out of being able to close that position However, if the price is outside of the range, which is what it is now, you can force someone to exercise. You can force the exercise of a position, meaning that that person is making money. Their call option is in the money. They go up with $1. That it. Oh, actually, this is even worse. It's out of range, out of the money. So that position is doing nothing for the buyer. It's doing nothing for the seller. It's one of those where you can actually force someone to close it, and if you do this, there is a fee that's about 3%, 2% of the notional size. There's also some gas involved, and I think that position gas, I think, probably spiked, but you don't want to spend $25 of worth of gas to free up, I don't know, in that case, $600 worth of capital. So in that case, we just have to wait a little bit, either for gas to go down and exercise a couple of people, or which one for someone to sell, or some of these bigger players to force exercise and close themselves. But yeah, that's one point where, even though you may want to close it, because of the cost of getting gas and for exercising, might not be what you want to do. So it's still not. Again, in your case, is it scary for you to keep a losing position on, or would you normally panic and try to close it?
No, I actually wouldn't. I know you recommended that would be smarter, I think, because I've been kind of just like I've been just holding tokens for so long. I'm in this mindset of like, meh, well, now I can't really sell anyways because I got in at whatever all-time high.
I
And
see.
so I'll just wait a couple years. And that's fine for me. But now with options, it seems like that is not the right way I should be thinking about it. I have a
Options have a
question
time
though.
scale. Yeah, have a time scale. So if it's a regular expiring option, 1 week, 1 month, or even 1 day, normally you move on. So maybe that's the same mindset that we're applying here. But it's true. Sometimes, if it's not bankrupting you, and remember, this one position, we still earned $90 worth of positive fees, if you want. So this worked for us. It's just maybe the management is what's a bit more difficult. So if we really think price is going to go up 2200, we can keep it on. If not, we can the intern doesn't even need to close it. They could still deploy capital and have this be kind of and the one that you manage a bit later. But yeah, that's one thing about options. Typically, you have a fixed time scale. Could be a month, could be a week. Normally, you don't want to keep these on for too long if they go against you, so that you don't necessarily are overexposed. But if you are very exposed, you just size accurately so that you don't feel like, again, you're losing all your funds and you have to manage them. Again, this is still $2,000 worth of notional being controlled. The exposure is about one ETH, three, uh, 2 to 8 million. So it's not going to be that big, but yeah, it might still be something we do recommend to close when gas is low, when it's actually profitable to do this. And once this is done, then we can actually uh, free up that capital.
And when you were going over the exercise, do all of those accounts need to be force exercised to
No,
close
that's
this leg,
yeah,
or
excellent question. So in that case, we can again click on the strike button. On the left hand side is all the calls. We just need to free up this amount.
okay?
So in theory, yeah, I might need to close 3 people or one big one. And I would probably recommend the one big one, less number of transactions. But if you force exercise any one of those two, you need 375, 447. So these two, any one of those two would actually free up enough capital for you to close, for intern to close it. And let us speak. Let's see how long they've held these positions. So we're looking at the first one, this pink circle, and then we can actually spy on their position here. They created a position 24 days ago, bought a call option. Price went down. They paid fees. They are losing money. Maybe they also want to see a reversal, so they don't want to manage this. But that person now, we would force exercise them. We would realize that loss for them. So we lose by closing it. They lose by closing it. It is what it is. And let's look at the other person here, which is 0.47. This is another position that is a call option, went against them. I also expect them to have lost money. Oh, it's not too bad. Look at this. So this
Mm.
one, They lost barely anything. They probably bought this recently, yeah, a day ago. Oh my, this might be why. Yeah, a day ago they bought, no premium or basically nothing paid. They are the freeloaders here. They are getting all the upside with zero or minimal downside. So just out of spite, maybe this is the one that we should punish, and not the other one that held it for 21 days. But any one of those two, they need to be forcibly closed, or if someone else sells that option, they can do it. Um, and then one last thing. So yeah, so that is kind of maybe how I kind of like this, because we can investigate and see how people are trading. One thing that is maybe important to note as well is that it's only one of the two legs that is kind of in trouble, if you want. And technically, that call option is not necessarily losing. It's a call option that's in the money. We could even imagine redeploying capital to that call strike, but close the put strike. And if we were to do this, the put is what gives you that bad red region. So you could still imagine selling just one call, closing that whole thing to reduce your risk. And maybe that's another alternative that doesn't involve paying the forced exercise fee. Paying the gas also with forced exercise is larger in that case than minting a new position. So that might be another one. So maybe intern will have we'll have to find a name for it, but a position that does nothing just to ease risk management, out of range, not doing anything, but then not necessarily getting you into trouble, so that you can close that position. So, but yeah, that's it. So that at the end of the day, it turns out that a lot of the price moves we're seeing are maybe scary when you see them, but when you deal with options, when you deal with these LP positions, there is a level of forgiveness that allows you to not just kind of get liquidated or lose. It allows you to kind of manage them well. So I wouldn't trust this 100%, but again, overall, we're still a bit ahead in terms of balances for both tokens, both in the ETH/USDC pair and also ETH BTC. This one, we sold some Bitcoin to get some ETH, but I mean it's also good. So I wouldn't fret too much. It is a sideways market as long as we size properly and manage in a timely manner. Inter should be fine. So yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe one last thing before we prep. So for next week, any new trade? Would you be interested in a new meme coin or new strategy or an existing one? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think I was looking at what the most volatile markets were last week, and I saw the MakerDAO on Uniswap was very, very
Oh,
volatile, and I was kind of thinking about whether
let's
it was
see if some.
to trade there.
Yeah, let's see if someone created. Oh, people did deploy a bunch of options. This is true. The 100 bips. What is going on here? 445 IV. Oh, I see. So this is the Uniswap liquidity. There's nothing on Panoptic. Someone deployed the NFT if you want, but then did not trade. I think this is a lot of liquidity here, and we move in a region where there's basically nothing, like 4 ETH, 5 ETH, which is kind of, again, 10K worth of capital. So in that specific case, a bunch of traders may still trade to that very low liquidity. The $1,000 that you put there will go much further than the $1,000 you put in that big block. So yes, maybe that's true. Very, very high IV. Maybe we'll try something like that. What's your take on Maker? Bullish, bearish, neutral?
Oh, didn't really know at the moment. I think maybe I guess bearish now because they have a new token. They're kind of rebranding. They're burning.
You don't like the
Um,
Sky rebrand?
I do. But I think maybe that's just like a way of I don't know for the new token, not the old token anymore. But I have no idea. I would have to do some research. I just because we were talking about
Oh,
IV, and I was like, this one has a lot. Maybe we could like
Sword
capitalize
by
on
Ivy.
that.
Yes, exactly. All right, I didn't also. Yeah, we do have the price chart. Even though no options are traded, you can actually see, and this one seemed to have been created a long time ago. Oh my god. Okay, interesting. In November. Can be right. Anyways, this is when we start thinking. But yeah, okay. So the Price did go down over the past few months or so, like everything else. But this is ETH denominated, remember. So ETH is going down, but Maker is going down faster. So yeah, maybe a bearish trade on Maker would be a good one. And I would say that the best way to think about this is to, since you're the only one trading, the setup will be a bit different. But yeah, anyways, we can go over that. But yeah, that might be a good trade to get in too. So
I can, yeah,
amazing.
I'll look at some other markets we have as well. I know a lot of people create new markets. We'll just gotta figure out how to get
Yeah,
everyone
so I
to
think
trade in them, or
we
PayPay, I think,
overloaded. Yeah,
Badger. Like there's a lot going on.
exactly.
Yeah.
We had the yeah, even oh, that's one interesting. BTC USDC Prime called. A lot of those have high IVs. The lowest one, okay, someone stablecoin definitely small. But yeah, Shiba, interesting. Not a lot of volatility there. So, all right, I think that's it for me. At least I have to. But again, this is how you trade the market. You just make sure you don't overextend yourself. You react, again, not immediately on your phone trying to panic sell or panic buy, but rather kind of do it within a day or two. This is the uh, pace at which a lot of these options are traded, so might as well respect that. And yeah, again, overall, even though prices move, intern and Rosalie's trade have been going up steadily. That's great. But yeah, I guess we'll do the same on Wednesday. We have options hours too. Any last comment, I guess, on your side, Rosalie?
Yeah, no, I'm just curious to see what makes more sense in terms of that position where maybe force exercise or selling that put and redeploying more capital into the call. So I'm curious to see what intern chooses and just yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and again, that might be something that someone already listening to this has faced. So yeah, that's going to be a cool thing to see what the intern chooses to do. All right. So without further ado, thanks very much, everyone, and yeah, have a good rest of the day.